everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Haley and I am super excited because today we are going to be taking a sneak peek inside of the Prince Avalask prequel as I have promised, but I'm actually going to give you three kind of different sneak peeks. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the story itself because you really, I guess, don't know too much about it yet. I'm going to show you a little snippet inside of the book itself so that you can kind of see one of the new pages that's been added, and I am actually going to leak the first chapter for those of you who are just, you can't wait to get your hands on it. There is going to be a way for you to read it after this video is over. So I guess first things first, I want to show you guys this inside page. So this is totally new. This is not in any of the other books. Well, this part is. This is the map. Every book has this, just so you know. But hang on. Here it is. This is the Ascali royal family tree. Kind of cool, right? So it's just because if you haven't read the books like in the last month, you may have not necessarily remembered all of this. And also this helps you kind of to keep it all straight because there's a lot of brothers and sisters and cousins. And so this is really going to help you kind of figure out who everybody is in relation to everybody else. Just, you know, the story will still tell you too, but it's a lot easier when you have something like this to reference as well. So I finally came up with a way to kind of describe the story to you guys, kind of tell you what's happening in this without spoiling the whole Secrets of the Tally series for everyone who hasn't read it yet. So what this book is about in a pretty non-spoiler way is the curse that is cast on the Ascali royal family. So in the course of the main series, not necessarily book one, but throughout the main series, there is this big bad curse on the Ascali royal family that causes a lot of problems, and it is that any woman that they love, anybody in the family like falls in love with, dies. And I'm talking like wives, sisters, girlfriends, doesn't matter, they drop dead. And so this is the story of how the curse begins, really why it begins, and a lot of the ways that they try to combat it. So they try to like find loopholes in it. They try to distance themselves from people and not fall in love at all. They try to like downright like fight it and just like try to save the people so that they don't die from the curse. But this story is like, the whole story really follows everything to do with that curse. And so you kind of get to go see like when it begins and how everybody reacts, and just there is so much in here that really, you know, it's, I mean, I guess maybe this is a little bit spoilery, but the curse is not gone by the time the main series is here. So you know it starts 20 years before, and then by the time you get to the main series, like this royal family does not have any women in it. They are all dead. It is very unfortunate, but this is really the story behind all of that and all the ways that they try to fight it and to get around it, and the story of what happens. So that's my first little, I guess my second little inside tidbit. I already showed you the page. And then the last thing I'm going to show you guys is almost everything in this is written from Prince Avalask's point of view, with just a couple of exceptions. There's, I think, 2 chapters that are written by Philistra, and of course they are like part of the main story. It is all one story that reads from beginning to end. It does span over like several years worth of time, and you'll see. But the very first chapter is actually from Maverick's point of view. And so he only gets one, and he does not have any chapters from his point of view in the main series, even though he's like pretty much like one of the main people. He does have a chapter in this, and it's very exciting, and you guys are going to be able to read it after you watch this video. I'm going to tell you how. Some of you guys, I'm sure, have already guessed. So let's see. You can pick up a book if you got one at home, either 2, 3, or 4. Here, we'll grab 3. I like book 3. I want you to open up the front and read this. And you're like, what? And so here's the thing. So a lot of people will just flip to the back of the book and be like, oh, I found the alphabet, because there's an alphabet back here. And they're like, I know how to read what's in the front. But then they realize as they start trying to look through it, it doesn't read like an alphabet. It's not quite what you would think. There is a very specific way that the Ascali language is written, and I am proud to say that lots of people have figured it out. So I do get emails from people asking me, how do I read this? And I don't actually ever explain it to anybody. So my answer is, if you want to be able to read it, you need to read books 2, 3, and 4. They will teach you how to do it. So that is my way of ensuring that nobody's gonna go read the first chapter of Prince Avalask if they haven't read the others in the series, because you have to read these to be able to translate that. And then once you translate that, you're gonna be able to read the beginning of Prince Avalask. I actually had, I think I have it here actually. I think I have it on my bookshelf. At my book for launch party, I do. Which was, my book for launch party was only a year ago. It feels like a whole lifetime because this has been the year of COVID, of course. But at my launch party, I had two lovely young ladies who I just adore show up with this letter for me, which is 100% written in Tally. And man, talk about putting me on the spot. I was like, oh my gosh, I better be able to read this. I didn't want to look like a total hypocrite, but man, if you're not writing in this language every day, I was a little rusty. I read it really slow, but I was reading it while they were there. It was very cool. So I do occasionally have people write me notes written in that Tally language, and it's very fun. So I know there are people who have figured out how to do it. So if you want to read the first chapter of Prince Avalask, you need to go to the beginning of either book 2, 3, or 4, translate that little passage, and then you're gonna be able to read it. So that is my inside sneak peek. This is going to be releasing in late March to everybody who buys on Kickstarter. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next video.